Mema ubi akawa so kokraba ordinary TV so na me hye na hwe ordinary TV a me so mo dia subscribe like na be share the way ama obenye bi ahwe we are fans abo ai adama na da sense be din simbre din e betu ja obenye bi ahwe me do bi so nya bre ahwe
amendment, but were unable to do it, and also to look at some proposals that have come from some individuals and some quarters to bring all of them together and make it a one document for them to submit it through National Council to the National Delegate Conference, which is the higher decision-making body of the party, to decide which of the proposals will be accepted and those that will be rejected. So yesterday, the committee met National Council and they took us through the proposals that they have received, and as many as 300 proposals were sent to the committee. Then they summarized the various aspects. Some had to do with our electoral college, some has to do with certain categories of key stakeholders who hitherto were not part of the electoral college that they feel must be added to the electoral college. They also looked at the roles and functions of party executives and how to streamline it so that it becomes very clear that we know these are the roles and functions of each officer of the party. In concluding their presentation, they made the point that there are two things that stands out of all the proposals that has come to them. One has to do with whether the party will pursue the one man, one vote system
for all party members.
All party members to have the right to also exercise their franchise, or the limited expansion. With respect to the one man, one vote, what the committee said was that for them, it is a very good suggestion, and overwhelmingly, and many people who came to them were in support of the one man, one vote. But however, looking at the prevailing circumstances where we are as a party, we don't really have the database of all our members, those who are interested in becoming members, those who are members and all these things. So to pursue that agenda, the membership that the party is embarking, that we are starting very soon, we need to roll that one out to ascertain or get to know the actual members who are within the party. Then two, also, the constitution also talks about members of good standing. So which means that the party members should be paying their dues, and we should be able to assess the number of months or years that they have paid their dues. And also, they also spoke about the financial implications. If you are going on one man, one vote, it means that it becomes more of a polling station elections.
More like a national election.
Not more like very big election. So that means the electoral commission have to set polling centers in the 40,000 or 40,000 polling stations, the logical challenges, the financial implications, all these things comes to play. But however, the committee recommended that we should be planning towards, by the end of 2028, all these factors, having a proper database of our members, many having their own party ID cards, and members also paying their dues. Then the party will be in a proper perspective to implement the one man, one vote. But it doesn't mean there shouldn't be an expansion. If it's going to be an expansion, then there has been several proposals. Some of the view that we should expand the polling station to 7. Some are also saying we should expand it to 10. Some are also saying 15.
So I'm polling station executives.
Polling station executives. And
so for now, how many polling station executives?
We have 5 per every polling station. And they also went further to do analysis of the cost implication of if you have the current 5 polling station executives and you want to run constituency elections, you want to run presidential elections, you want to run parliamentary elections, the cost implication, right? So these are all the various scenarios that they gave to the National Council yesterday. Then, with respect to former executives, they were also of the view that at least those who have served as constituency executives before, they should be given the opportunity to vote in the parliamentary and presidential primaries. At least a way of recognizing the roles that they play when they were executives, and also to address apathy which sets in, that a person becomes a former executive, then it's like has no connection or no engagement with the party. It's a way of bringing back and also recognizing the roles that they play. So they also discuss that former members of parliament. It's very sad that maybe a person becomes a member of parliament for a particular constituency, and when he leaves office, it's not recognized. The party is taking a decision, does not become part of those who takes that decision. So those are the discussions that came on. Then it came to presidential primaries. The committee made the point that, again, from the various people that they engaged, overwhelmingly were of the view that it is important or imperative that the party hosts its presidential primaries early. And the reason being that now, if you monitor even the media space, social media platforms, WhatsApp platforms, even radio discussions and engagement, the rancor and acrimony that's associated with the impending presidential primaries, it is creating division among the party. And the best solution is for us to hold the presidential primaries as early as possible, so that after the elections, the party can unite and work together to win the elections in 2028. So that is something that has been widely accepted, that we need to hold our presidential primaries very early. Because when it comes to regional, constituency, national elections, or even polling station elections, it's not as tense and acrimonious like when it gets to the presidential primary. So that is one of the recommendations that they made. Then, as to the time, the date, and even the venue, the committee considered that per the powers granted by our constitution, and if you refer to Article 13(1)(1) of the NPP's constitution, it states categorically that the power to determine the venue and the date for presidential primaries lies within the bosom of the National Council. So to place more emphasis on it, I will have to read what that provision says. So 13(1)(1) reads that the election of the party's presidential candidate shall be held not later than 24 months from the date of the national election. The date and venue for the election shall be decided by the National Council, provided, however, that the National Council may, on appropriate occasion, vary the date. So this provision is making reference to when the party is in opposition, that latest or not later than 24 months to the general elections, the party should have held its presidential primaries to elect its flag bearer. So not later means even from now, even today, the party can still elect its presidential candidate. This power clothed with the National Council does not take cognizance of whether there is a polling station elections, whether there is electoral area elections, whether there is constituency elections, whether there is regional. Is the power granted to National Council. So at any point in time, when National Council made that pronouncement that we are going to hold presidential primaries in that day or on this date, then it means the electoral college, as at that time, would determine who becomes our presidential primaries and presidential candidate. And when this decision was taken by National Council, there have been some mixed feelings, and some people are excited about it, others are also apprehensive, and others have raised issues that it's not the best practice, and looking at the convention that has happened in the past, this is the first time that the party will be charting that path. But it's not the decision of the General Secretary. I did not solely...
So you've read 13(1) that clearly says that it is the decision of the National Council.
Yes.
Some people have said that while that is true, 13(1) must be read in conjunction with 10(2)(1), which says that there shall be a National Annual Delegates Conference, which shall be the supreme governing body of the party. So their view is that for such a big decision, so even though they are not quarreling National Council for having that power, that decision on the date ought to be ratified by the Annual Delegates Conference, particularly because this is the first time that the date they are choosing will be before other elections are held. But when the announcement was made yesterday, it was almost described like a fait